Reports out today suggest that Elanga is open to a move away from Forest. Welcome to your transfer news. Good morning, good evening, or good night. Hope you guys are doing well, and welcome to your latest Forest transfer news. Coming up, we'll give you the latest on Elanga, how true these stories are, how much Forest apparently want for Elanga, and does he really want to leave the world famous City ground? So if you're enjoying the content, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed as well if you are new to Forest Fan TV. Have your notifications on because stories are breaking left, right and centre, and we will bring them to you. And don't forget, tonight at 8 we will have Grumpy Old Reds, where we'll be discussing the transfer scene right now at Forest, and I'll be asking the boys who they would keep, sell or loan or bench. What am I thinking? Anyway, before we jump into the story, a lot of you are asking me where I got my wood slats walls from, and I got them, of course, from Nottingham, from the best place you can get it from. So if you're looking to redecorate your rooms or your house or wherever it is, check out World Decor. They specialize in these slats, and honestly, they're some of the nicest people I've spoken to. Loads of different colors. I went for the gray, the dark gray. You want to know what color it is, obviously there's lights on this now and everything, but I've got the description for you down in the description. I've got the link, for down in the description, so check them out. And if you're doing any work in your house, make sure you hook yourselves up with them. Tell them we sent you from FFTV, and I'm sure they'll sort you out. Okay, let's jump into the story. So this whole Elanga thing's been rumbling on now for a couple of weeks, and my indications are that Elanga is quite happy at Forest, that he's not really looking for a move, and at the same time Forest are not looking to sell him because they see him as an integral part of the kind of team going into next year. And my stance on Elanga has kind of changed. When I did that video yesterday, buy, sell or bench, kind of looking at his stats, and I'm there like, you know what, there is still that potential in him. His GA looks good, his performance is good, and I've sat there thinking, how many times during a match preview in the season just gone would I say Elanga is the key? If we could get out to Elanga, if he can get in at the left back, so on and so forth. So I still think there's a lot more we can get out of Elanga, but money does talk in the world of football. There is a report out today to suggest that Newcastle is still very hot on his case, and they think they can get a deal done with Forest. Now, let's run through the article together, and then I'll talk to you about my thoughts on it. So, the article is here. It's in Teamtalk. Off the bat, spoiler alert, I don't give it too much credit, but what they're saying here is that Newcastle are confident of game-changing deal for speedy winger who's keen to join from their sources. Newcastle United believe that they'll be able to sign Anthony Elanga for less than Forest's asking price. Sources have told Teamtalk, as the winger's comments on his future also come to light. Elanga is one of the best wingers in the Premier League and has been a star for Forest since his £15 million move from United in the summer of 23. The 23-year-old, who is one of the quickest players in English top flight, scored 6 goals, 11 assists in 38 appearances last season. And they're saying sources have told Teamtalk that Newcastle are pushing to secure the services of Elanga in a deal that could see them pay £55 million, despite Forest's valuation of £65 million for the Swedish international. And yes, some Sky Sports crap there. Anyway, Teamtalk understand that the 23-year-old is keen on teaming up with Eddie Howe's side and fulfilling his ambitions of playing Champions League football, with his representatives engaging in multiple meetings with the Newcastle hierarchy over the past week. Elanga's pace, versatility and flair have made him a prime target for Newcastle, who are looking to bolster their attacking options ahead of a pivotal campaign. However, Forest are in a strong negotiation position, with Elanga's contract running until 2028, while there is also a sell-on clause owed to Manchester United. Sources indicate that Forest may push for a fee closer to 70 million, but Newcastle's confidence suggests a compromise at 55 million could be reached. That 55 million fee would sit second in Newcastle's all-time record, off behind Isak, And they've also understand there's unnamed Premier League sides have made contact in the last few days and do hold interest in Elanga. The winger's enthusiasm for the move is a significant bonus for Newcastle, who are aiming to build a squad capable of competing on multiple fronts, and Elanga's potential arrival would add depth to a forward line that already includes Isak and Gordon. Okay, so a lot to take in there. Firstly, let's talk about the validity, tough word, of the source. I don't know if I believe it, right? I need to see this develop further before I start to kind of make any assumptions on it. I'm not hearing it from any credible sources either. What I will say is Newcastle 100% do have an interest in Elanga. They've had one from last year. That's not a secret. Everyone knows that. And you don't need to be ITK kind of thing to know that kind of stuff. The valuation thing, I do tend to believe that Forest would look for in and around 65 to 70 million. I think 65 would be a very good deal if Forest did it, and that might be enough to sway the move. Anything below that, because of the 20% sell-on fee or thereabouts that Manchester United have, it would mean Forest are not getting much. So, for example, if Forest sold him for 50 million, that's net of 40 once they pay the 10 million to United. If we go at 70 million, what you're looking at there, 14 million pounds. So that brings it more in and around the 54, 55 million pound mark. Man United are getting some cheap money out of this, and I don't like it. And that's one of the reasons why I'm not that keen on selling Elanga. But I think it would take something net of 65. Be that Newcastle come in and say 55 plus 10 in add-ons, or 15 in add-ons, something like that, may be the negotiation. But if Forest go any cheaper than that, I think it's a silly deal, because the going baseline rate for a Prem proven right winger, we know from our own experience, is about 50 million pounds. We saw that with Jono. We've seen Mbumo now linked with United. They're talking about 65 million pounds for him. And we know that there's not a lot of wingers. The only other one that's really being talked about right now, for example, is Semenyo from Bournemouth, and he's 50 million. And I think Elanga's had a better season than Semenyo, even though I do think Semenyo is a good player. Now, to address the bits that are talking about that Elanga is keen on a switch, I don't believe those. I think Elanga is more than happy at Forest. I've said this before and I'll say it again. He sees Forest as a club that gave him that opportunity to re-flourish his career. Not that his career was in the gutter or anything like that, but he wasn't getting those opportunities at Manchester United. And moving across to Forest meant that he was able to express himself a bit more. He's playing out on the right, he's played out on the left, he's scoring goals. He feels like part of the, the fabric, the core fabric of the team. We all know about his relationship with Ola Aina and Callum Hudson-Odoi. And to break that up, I can't really see that happening. This, again, and I said it on a previous video, I don't believe that Elanga wants to leave. But I do believe that if the money is right, money talks, and Forest would consider selling him. But I have full circle changed my mind on Elanga, and I wouldn't sell him. For me, it would take 70 plus, and then you could look at bringing a Yilmaz in and then strengthening in other departments as well. Because with that 55 million minus the Man U money, if it was 70, then the amortization on that creates a lot of wealth that we could use to the already war chest pot that we potentially have to buy some players with. So that's the update on Elanga. I'm saying BS to it. I think that Newcastle are interested. I think those valuations are right, but I categorically do not believe that Elanga wants to leave Forest. But how are you guys reading it and how are you feeling about it? Let me know in the comments down below. So we'll be back at 8 p.m. tonight. We'll do a transfer roundup on Grumpy Old Reds. We'll get the boys' takes on who should be sold, who should stay, and who should be benched. And we'll get your takes as well. So make sure you tune in for that at 8 p.m. If you haven't already, please don't forget to hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to Forest Fan TV if you are new. And we'll see you on the next video. Come on, you Reds.